أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Today we will be looking at something called the sanad and matan. These are two terms that are used in the science of hadith, and when a person, an alim, he narrates a narration, a hadith, he will always, majority of the time, if he's a learned person, he will say that he will narrate the hadith with its isnad, with its sanad, and then he will, but majority of the times people only discuss matan. And this is one of the reasons that we started this series of understanding definitions of different types of a hadith, that on electronic media we see thousands of people sitting in front of the camera and trying to explain the narrations of Hazrat Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And most of the time there are persons that don't have any understanding of the different types of hadith, and there would be persons that would be presenting to you mawzu hadith, a fabricated, concocted hadith that has been tampered with, some hadith that has been cancelled out by another hadith, and a hadith that has no credibility, or is a very weak hadith, or is not to be relied on, or there is some doubt in the narrators of that hadith. So it is very difficult for somebody to act upon that hadith when he's not fully confident that this hadith should be acted upon. Either is maqbool, or is mardud, is acceptable or is rejected. And in this series that we are talking about different types of hadith, today, before we look at the next lesson, we are looking at we have discussed what a hadith is, we have discussed what khabar is, and today we are looking, before we start the next lesson, on ahad, okay, and the divisions of ahad. We will look at something called the sanad and the matan. Now, the sanad and the matan these are two, so every narration consists of two parts. One is the sanad and one is the matan. The sanad is the chain. So sanad is the chain, and matan is the text, in simple words. So sanad is a chain and matan is a text. So the first part of the hadith consists of names of authors, names of different narrators, not authors, names of narrators. So one person says, I heard it from the next person says, I heard it from the next person, then he says that I heard it from the next person, and then he would generally be a sahabi or a tabi. If it's a tabi, he would say that I heard it from this companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then the companion would say that I narrate from Rasulullah, I heard, I saw, Rasulullah informed us. Them type of words would be used, and he would then narrate to you what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did, or Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, and what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, or what he did, would be the matan, and everything that leads up to the matan would be the sanad, would be the chain. Now, majority of the time it is the chain that is weak, where one person, and inshallah when we will discuss the chain and what type of narrators there are, and the credibility of narrators, and how we authenticate a narrator, what have the scholars said regarding narrators. And this is Asma Rijal, and there's hundreds of books surrounding this subject, and this is a science on its own. Inshallah, we will try to emulate it into the definitions today, not today, but I mean in this series. So in a nutshell, every narration consists of two parts. One is the sanad, and that is the chain, and the other is the matan. The matan is the text, the first part of a hadith, consisting of the names of the narrators, is called the sanad, the chain. And the second part, or the text, you would say, of the hadith is what Hazrat Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wasallam said or he did. So that is the matan. So a report reaches us, and another word that is used in the world of the science of hadith is tariqs. Tariq means many different chains, many different sanads, okay? And turuq is another word used. Turuq is the plural of tariq, okay? So means that many different chains that reach one person, okay? And this is, so the, and is sanad, and the plural of sanad is isnad, you could say that. Sanad, isnad. Isnad is the report of the path. So the path leading to the matan. So just imagine that all of the chains of narrators, the names of different narrators, is actually the path that takes you to the matan. What Hazrat Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam said, or what he did. The next part is matan, we've already discussed. Matan is authenticated depending on the sanad's authority, okay, or authenticity, okay. So the matan is authenticated depending on the sanad's authenticity. So when the sanad is authenticated, the matan then gives you peace of mind. So once you understand that the chain is a sound chain, okay, and for example, we read the Sahih of Imam Bukhari, and inshallah we're going to discuss this. So I don't really want to open up a new chapter here. It is supposed to be very simple and very straightforward for beginners. So when we look at Imam Bukhari's narrations that he has narrated, the collection of Imam Bukhari's Sahih, we will see what that means generally, the 5 conditions that Imam Bukhari derived, and then he, according to them conditions, he collected them ahadith. We will look at what they were, inshallah, when we get there. But once the chain is authenticated, meaning the narrators are all of sound caliber, they never lied, they were absolutely trusted by all the muhaddithin, all the scholars, and once that chain is authenticated and it reaches to the matan, when we get to the matan, when we read the matan, we understand the matan, we are at peace of mind. We are relaxed in understanding that this is actually the narration of Hazrat Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is the orders. This is what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam forbid us from doing. So this gives us peace of mind. But how do we reach that peace of mind? It is through the sanad, the chain of narrators, okay? And then once we have reached peace of mind, when we have a peace of mind, then the hadith must be followed or used in evidence, okay? And this is one of the reasons that sanad and matan is very important to understand. The sanad is the most important part of hadith, where the way it reaches us, okay? The sanad is the one that connects us to the words of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make understanding and learning deen easy for us all.